that Mike...
Can you not stand in people's way?
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
You're on the spot there. Just have to have a quick look. So basically, Mike Freer replied to us in an email, and this is basically what he said. So I've been called. I need to have it actually up on the phone, but let's have a look.
He said he was ready, sorry.
Oh, I didn't.
Right.
Yeah, let one other person speak. I'll find it.
Dave, you go for it for a sec while Phoenix
Okay, okay, while we're finding things on the whatever stream, story I forgot to tell you. Last year I met a landlord who owns over 100 houses, and after a few drinks he said two very interesting things. First was, David, what I can't understand is why most people don't understand that the land was taken from them by force in the first place. Right on.
By theft and murder.
Second thing he said was, don't really like these little buy-to-let semi-millionaire people. They're putting prices up and I have to pay more when I buy property. But you know, the good thing is, so many of them are MPs, and they're changing the legislation, and that's making it much easier for me. When I started buying houses in the 1970s, it took me 6 years before I got more money coming in than I've got going out. Now, within 1 year, I've got more money coming in than is going out. I can't believe it's going to go on like this, but it's great what all those MPs have done for me. So thank you, Parliament. Thank you, our democratic system. We understand.
Okay.
All right. Hang on a sec, Mordecai. It's take two of Phoenix's delivery of Mike Freer's statement. Can you explain it, though?
Okay, so basically, Mike Freer, after we've been occupying this place, last Friday they said, the people in constituency office say you can have permission to come onto the yard and do your protest. Then they asked 4 hours later, we want to take that permission away. I said, if you're giving us permission, that's a licence. Mike Freer emailed us and basically said, after about 5 days of occupation, you've made your point. Now, he's politely asking us to leave. We wrote back a long email to him basically saying, we have many points of law to raise with you, Mike Freer, about this law that you've pushed through, which is unjust, unfair, undemocratic, unlawful, unaffordable and unworkable. We're extremely unhappy about you criminalising the homeless from sheltering in empty buildings. We would like you to come and engage with some direct democracy on your doorstep, maybe come and spend a night in the tent with the homeless people, up to a week, and then we'd ask him each morning, Mike, do you think we should go and shelter in an empty building now if it's snowing? So basically, we wrote back with a long one saying, we're willing to agree to meet you and leave at an agreed date, but basically, otherwise you'll just have to take us to court and go through the normal court process. Now, Mike, replying to that email, made a big mistake. Basically, last night, in our email box, 1 o'clock in the morning, we got something that's going to blow up in the newspapers tonight. It's going out in The Guardian, BBC tomorrow, other things. Mike basically emailed us back, but he didn't email us. He was emailing another Conservative Party member, and this is the email he sent, and it is...
accidentally sent it to us.
Accidentally sent it to us. So this is a major own goal from Mike Freer. He's been spanked by Tory office communications director as we speak. So it basically says, dear, to Bohemian, or reference invitation for direct democracy. It starts with, no. Email told them to phone and we would follow our usual procedures, which they seem unable to do. I am mighty peed off with the police. This is Mike Freer talking to another Conservative. I am mighty peed off, you know the translation, with the police. I feel like sending the bill, we guess that's the money bill, the cost for the eviction. I feel like sending the bill to the Commissioner, saying your daft advice landed us with this bill. You know, the Commissioner is Bernard Hogan Howe, the top policeman for London, the Commissioner. This MP has insulted him by saying he's given daft advice. Of course, this will inhibit every other demo, as we will simply refuse to allow anyone on our property. Who is he to limit every other demo? And his last words, such a well thought out email in reply to our very well thought out email. So tempting to say, you are all numbnuts. As I am not the owner of the property, and it is they you should be dealing with about your presence. Well, Mr. Freer, we didn't come here to talk to a Conservative property owner. We came here to talk to an MP who's brought in an unjust, unfair law that is killing people. People are freezing to death in the winter. Daniel Gaunt last year was going to get into an empty cottage. The police told him, if you get into the empty cottage, you'll be breaking the new law on residential buildings. He decided not to, having been warned, fear of arrest. He slept outside on the porch under a tarpaulin in the cold weather of the winter, and he was dead the next day. A local friend from here said 2 of his friends have been taken dead off the streets from around here from the cold. Yesterday's government figures, 31,000 people this year have died from fuel poverty and winter deaths. That's homed people. These are pensioners and people who fought through world wars for this country, can't afford their heating and freezing to death. So Mike Freer and all of these MPs, we've got a message for you. You are responsible. You claim to be democratic. You ignored. They asked us to come and have meetings to make an appointment. We went through the parliamentary hoops, and basically in the public consultation we worked very hard. We're not normally parliamentary people. 96% of the people who replied to their public consultation said do not criminalise squatting, and that included the Police Federation, the Judges Association and Lawyers Associations and the Lords, as well as homeless charities and housing groups, and they all said don't criminalise this law, it'll be a lot of problems for everyone. And this government ignored their own public consultation and went on and criminalised anyway. That is corporate democracy, ignoring what's going on. This is direct democracy on their doorstep, demanding a repeal to Section 144 and repealing the entire LASPO Act, which removes our legal aid rights.
Okay.
Can I take a few points?
Whoa.
Yeah.
It is, hospitals have seen the cases of hypothermia rise by more than a third to 28,000.
Hospitals have seen the cases of hypothermia rise by more than a third to 28,000.
Under the coalition.
Under the coalition. 28,000 people hypothermia.
So this is people watching on the live stream commenting, in case you're not aware. How many are people watching?
No, it's only about 6 of us anyway.
Hey, 6 people.
Keep tweeting it out, please.
Network it, tweet it
Now,
out.
before we kind of get to the end, and we're going to talk about a statement that we want to put out that we all want to endorse, let me take some hands. One more round of hands if people want to make a comment, say anything at all.
How many watching on that side?
We have 1.